I don't think that's as out there as the one earlier that wasn't called.
I agree with you. I agree with you. This game has had some physicality to it.
Without question, a little chippiness. So the officials have all had their look. Now discussing it over. Our officiating crew tonight: Jules Gallion, Maggie Timon, and Rod Creech.
I mean, and it's a 40-point game. Good. It should be.
So that's a new signal this year. That's the signal.
Her hands coming down.
Wasn't
out of context, but yeah, that wasn't a flop.
So no foul, and we play on. Analia Edwards will take a seat on the bench at this point with 2:22 to go in quarter number 3. So it's Arnold, Shade, Griffin, Brady, and Beckers, the 5 on the floor for UConn. And Griffin with the block on the drive to the rim by Lear.
Nice help defense in the right place at the right time to swat that into the crowd.
Student section loved it. And Caden Samuels will come and sub for KK Arnold late just before the ball is inbounded. 6 points, 7 assists for KK Arnold in her UConn debut. Here's Wolf guarded by Beckers now. And that will be kickball. And a 20-second shot clock for the Flyers to work with. Dayton shooting 30% from the floor in this one, 33% for Tamika Williams-Jeter. UConn shooting 53% from the floor. How about 50% from 3 in the ballgame for the Huskies?
That is ridiculously good for the first game of the season.
36% from 3 for the season a year ago for the Huskies. That ball will be turned over. And UConn will take over with 1:58 to go in quarter number 3. So 10 players have played in the ball game tonight. 10 of the 12 available. 9 of those 10 have scored. Samuels feeds Brady. Here's Ashlyn Shade. Back to Brady. She'll let it fly from 3. That's a rounded out. That's a cool bounce on a home rim.
Halfway down.
Brady tips the rebound. It gets knocked around in traffic. Becker's on the floor. She and Jones will tie the ball up, or will there be a timeout called? Timeout called by UConn.
I think Becker's called for a timeout.
Wow.
You see her arm get grabbed there that time too?
Yeah.
A lot of that going on here tonight.
I'll give Jones credit for not making that worse, but she could have kept both hands on the ball and maybe got a tied up ball. In any event, 30-second timeout called by the Huskies, leading by 41 here with 1:21 to go in the third quarter. So you look at that bandaged thumb for Paige Beckers. Again, she jammed a thumb in practice on another, I believe it was on another player, right? And doesn't show any effect from it at all.
The only thing, she just can't obviously do as much with the ball in her left hand. I've seen it affect her a little bit while trying to put it up to knock down a pass on the defensive end, but really marginal.
Shade kicks to Samuels. Got it to go. Nothing but net for the freshman. Two for 2, both from 3 tonight for Caden Samuels.
Paige Becker still playing so hard in the defensive end. Dayton just got called for an offensive foul, illegal screen.
Riley Rissmiller, the freshman, number 30, called for that. 17 turnovers for the Flyers tonight. UConn, as sloppy as the game was at times on the defensive end, offensively has only turned the ball over 5 times.
That's impressive.
Beckers.
That looks short. Quite a few of Paige's shots have been short, just not in game shape.
Jones, strong move, shot wouldn't fall. Rebound tip to Ashlyn Shea. She'll slow it down to Beckers inside the final 10 seconds of this third quarter. Paige will drive. Blast doesn't go. And it'll go out of bounds with 9/10 of a second to go, and UConn basketball. Can the Huskies cook up a little inbounds magic here to finish the quarter?
They should certainly try. These are great moments at the end of a quarter to get a quick shot.
Throw it at the rim. Brady doesn't go. And no foul call. So the third quarter will end with UConn outscoring Dayton in that quarter 25-9 and building a 44-point lead. Cadence Samuels with her first points as a Husky. Presented by your local New England Honda dealers. 44 is the gap headed to quarter number 4. Aaliyah Edwards has been awesome tonight for UConn, leading the way on the scoreboard, doing a great job on the boards. You see Paige Beckers 8 and 7, and having played 21 of the 30 minutes so far. And we start the fourth here at XL Center with Dayton in possession of the basketball.
And don't forget, Aaliyah Edwards picked up that third foul in the third quarter, and she did a really good job of not picking up the fourth.
Edwards will start this position with this period on the bench. And it's going to be a hold there, and Ivy Wolf will, let's see, that ball on Ashlyn Shea. Chelsea, you were listening in on the UConn huddle.
Yeah, Alan, as far as the rebounding in the Huskies defensively, Coach Ariema said you got to be more active, stay engaged until you get the ball. He kept saying that over and over to the Huskies in the huddle. As far as offense, he said push it. Alan?
How's your opening night going, Chelsea? Having fun?
I'm having a blast. As I stare at you from across the court, the two of you, two peas in a pod.
We are loving having you. Great job.
It's fun.
Thank you.
Brady works inside, the left hand, that's a little short. No foul.
That's what they're going to need her to make. And she's got to be comfortable getting hit and knocking down shots.
Lear's floater doesn't go. Shade with the rebound. Well, we talked at the beginning of the broadcast about Ice Brady. Gino saying, was going to be a key to this team's success this year.
Yeah, second play in a row. Brady missed it, and then she stood on the baseline kind of laughing, out of frustration. Not the reaction her coaches want to see.
In and out from Rich-Miller. Mule with the rebound for UConn. So much to absorb, right? Spent all last season rehabbing that injured knee. 0 game action. Ashlyn Shea, that just doesn't go.
It's not easy. She is a freshman. And Gino's talked about it. It's going to be incredible pressure on her to come in, and be expected to contribute a lot early when she didn't play a minute last year.
Rich-Miller from long range, that's 3. Riley Rich-Miller, 6'4" freshman. Coach calls her a future franchise caliber player for the Dayton Flyers.
Well, Tamika will build this program. She does things the right way. She's a terrific coach. She pays attention to the little things.
How about that athleticism from Griffin? Move to the left, spin back to the right. The long reach and the floater.
So incredibly gifted, Aubrey Griffin.
12 points tonight for Aubrey. Lear will have it knocked out of bounds by Shade. It'll be Dayton basketball with 18 to shoot. Caroline Ducharme and Aaliyah Edwards check back into the ball game for Griffin and Brady. We've seen about every possible combination of these 10 players tonight we could, right?
And I think we're going to continue to see every iteration of this group that he can think of. But he's just going to continue to tweak it and play with it and see who plays well together, who does what. He's going to become like a mad scientist trying to put it all together.
There's Jones with 4 to shoot. Left-hand floater is good.
Tough finish by Jones.
Anissa Jones, 14 double-digit scoring games a year ago, including the last 8 straight of their season. Mule just inside the three-point arc, short. Ball goes to Ducharme. Shade with the cut and gets her first points in a Husky uniform.
What a smart cut by the freshman.
That will be a screen set on Caden Samuel and a foul called on Shannon Wheeler.
And she said, look, with the right hand, cut. And the freshman wisely listened. That's leadership from Mule.
Nika tonight with 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 10 points. And of course, the program record in assists a year ago. Won't be required to carry that same kind of load this year, though. Here's Ducharme, kicks.
So that was a foul called against Dayton on a screen here in the front court.
Yep.
It was a hard screen, but I thought she had her position.
Edwards. And one!
Tell you, Dayton has had a really hard time trying to stop Aaliyah Edwards inside. She's just so smart when she gets the basketball. And so good at reading where the defense is, and she determines where she wants to go.
A couple of weeks ago, I was up at Worth Champion Center at a practice day, speaking with Aaliyah, and I just thought to myself how far she's come since her freshman year. The confidence, the conditioning, the way she presents herself, the way she performs on the basketball court.
And, you know, she's a great kid, as are all of them. But, you know, it's really cool to watch kids develop from 18 years old to 22, and we get to do it all the time. It's really special.
Aaliyah is certainly going to be a force to be dealt with by UConn opponents this season. There is Caroline Ducharme, quick release, no, but Edwards with another rebound. Shade from the free throw line, got it. And a double fist pump from her and a big smile.
And a big smile, I love it. Hey, more than anything, you gotta have fun.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? And a travel. So, 10 players have played tonight. Bench points for UConn, more tonight already than their high all of last season.
Did they even have bench points last year?
Well,
my goodness, that's an alarming statistic that we will see continue.
The ovation for Nika Mule as she checks out of the game. And Ines Betancourt, the now sophomore, checks into the ball game for UConn, wearing 21.
And Amari DeBerry tried to get in, but they inbounded the ball too quickly.
DeBerry waiting at the scorer's table. There's Ducharme. Yes!
Nice touch by Ducharme.
Caroline, another one, just looking for a happy, healthy, and productive season. Fighting for position in the lane, help from Betancourt, who will commit the foul. So how about Ines Betancourt, back for a second year in stores. Remember, just barely got here before the start of last season. I talked with her, and she talked about as Aaliyah Edwards leads the ball game to a nice ovation.
Well-deserved ovation.
And Caroline Ducharme as well.
Terrific minutes, and you know, it's just a relief for them that they don't have to play 38 minutes a game.
No kidding. So Riley Rissmiller with the free throw. Amari DeBerry is in the ball game for UConn, along with all 3 freshmen and Ines Betancourt.
Ines Betancourt is one of my favorite stories from last year. As you just indicated, got here late due to the injury to Paige Beckers. And the kid showed up and was supposed to just be, you know, a role player. She ends up starting at Maryland. Yeah. Had some key minutes, made those 2 free throws against Princeton to help seal that victory. There's a toughness to the kid.
And when I talked with her, you know, all right, what's different? She said, you know, at home I was good. She said, I came here and I understand now what I have to work on to be better, and I want to.
I saw her in the Portuguese parade in Hartford last summer. She was very good. Yeah. She was the queen.
Out of bounds, it'll be UConn basketball, and that leads us to a timeout at the midway mark of quarter number 4. Getting to see a lot of folks on the floor, a lot of points on the board as well tonight at XL Center. Opening night for UConn women's basketball tonight at the XL Center in downtown Hartford, and the fans who came out have gotten a show. There's your scoreline with still half of the fourth quarter left to go, and Aaliyah Edwards has certainly been the star of the show for UConn.
She's just been so dominant. What I love about Aaliyah early in this season is just the confidence that she's playing with and the purpose. When she catches the ball, she knows what she wants to do with it. There's no hesitation. There's an intensity about her that is great to see, because they're going to need this young lady all season long.
Do you know her career high in points in a game is 28? She has 23 tonight. That's a great way to start the season, your senior year. Dominating points in the paint tonight are the Huskies.
And only 23 minutes for Edwards.
Yeah. And played a lot with 3 fouls.
Yeah.
10 to shoot for UConn. Here's KK Arnold. Left hand. Glass and good.
She is explosive.
A freshman from Germantown, Wisconsin. About 30 miles or so northwest of Milwaukee. There's a nice floater and in from Mariah Perez. Perez held very low tonight, just 8 points for one of the leading scorers for the Flyers. A year ago, she averaged, what, 12 in a game? Peyton Samuels hits another 3.
That was smooth.
And there, the Huskies push it to triple digits. 100 points for UConn tonight on opening night.
That was for Irene Pittman, Nikisha Sale's grandmother, who turned 100 today. Sitting behind the bench.
Happy birthday, Samuels. Oh, wow.
They have a lot of ways to score.
$11 points in her UConn debut for Cadence. 3 of 4 from 3, 4 of 5 from the floor.
Cadence, KK Arnold just twisted her ankle or something.
DeBerry with a block. Yeah, she's grimacing.
She's grimacing. Something happened when she got hit by a screen.
There's Ashlyn Shade. Off to DeBerry screen. Samuels pops out. Defeated inside to DeBerry. And gets it stolen away by Wolf.
See, the Samuels has to see that help defense coming from the other side. DeBerry can't see that in the low post.
And if Aaliyah Edwards was the star of the night tonight, the headline of the night was Paige Becker's return to the court. 21 minutes, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists for the former National Player of the Year.
And I thought it was a good effort. I don't think it's obviously the best she can play. She missed some shots, and she looked frustrated when she missed them. But she's not going to come back and play, you know, her best basketball. She's been out a long time. Patience is going to be important right now.
I think the big thing is she's back on the court. She's healthy.
Absolutely, and they're better because she's here.
And not only that, but she's having fun playing basketball again. The one thing that she loved more than anything else was kind of taken away from her the last couple of years, and she is going to just savor every cheer of these UConn fans all season long, you can bet. Arnold misses from the free throw line. Samuels with a nice save, but right to Dayton. Nika Lightborn tries to go end-to-end. High glass and in for the freshman from the Bahamas.
Nika Lightborn.
So coming down to 2 minutes to go for opening night for UConn. And a bad pass from DeBerry, inbounds, intercepted by Rhys Miller. Mari DeBerry coming back off of surgery last May to repair a herniated disc. And that one will count. And a foul drawn on Ines Betancourt, her second. And for Tamika Williams-Jeter, her team getting this opening night to her second season out of the way. And I know I mentioned this before, but this Dayton program is a storied one in women's college basketball. They've been to the NCAA tournament 10 times, all since 2010. And no doubt she'll have them back in the tournament soon.
Without a doubt. She's a terrific coach. Just a great person. Just such positive energy that comes up. Anything, you know, if you're in Tamika's orbit, you're happy.
Flyers picked to finish 9th in the Atlantic 10 this year. Our next door neighbors over at Rhode Island picked to win the conference in their preseason poll. That doesn't go. Knocked around. Dayton ball. Minute and a half to go. Arnold couldn't get the steal. Here's Lear. And that one falls. They had a turnover. And Arnold will.
Nice job. Yeah, DeBerry with a bad inbound pass. She salvaged it with a nice block.
DeBerry feeds Samuels. No, missed the shot. UConn Women's Basketball postgame show coming up, presented by your local New England Honda dealers immediately after the game. Gary Apple and Carol Walters standing by in our New York studio, ready to break it all down for you. And we'll hear from Gino and the players as well. It's all coming up.
This is all part of the culture that Tamika has helped to create. The kids are still cheering. They're down by a bunch, but they're in the game mentally and emotionally, and that's what she's helping to teach them.
8-0 run here by the Flyers, and that shot misses from Samuels as we get down to 30 seconds to go in this one. Here's Rissmiller, freshman to freshman on that, defended well, stolen away.
A smart play by the point guard, Arnold, there in the low post defensively.
And KK will slow it down. The bench and the fans come to their feet, as does the head coach, to salute this team in their effort tonight as they begin their pursuit, do I dare say it, of a national championship. The Final Four this year in Cleveland, Ohio. There's your final. Coach and coach meet at midcourt. And as usual, Nika speaking in the huddle for this Husky team. 102-58. And the Huskies win their season opener for now a 28th consecutive season. And defeat the Dayton Flyers for a 5th consecutive time. Our player of the game tonight, presented by your local Hyundai dealers, it's got to be Aaliyah Edwards, the senior, with those numbers tonight on opening night. Look at that, 10 of 12 from the floor, nearly a double-double. And again, a near career high in scoring. And there's Paige smiling at the end of this one after an 8-point, 21-minute night for Beckers.
I thought this was a great first game. Great way to get this team, you know, particularly with Beckers, all back in the court to start playing together and start figuring out who they are.
All right, the head coach is with Chelsea.
Coach, how was your team able to control the pace of play, especially given all the different combinations that you threw out tonight?
I mean, I think for the most part, we were able to keep the pace going the way I wanted to. Sometimes it looked a little bit, you know, flunky out there, you know, but they're just getting used to playing together as well. In a game situation, the practice is different. So there's going to be a lot of different combinations most nights. And as long as the pace is what we want it to be, and, you know, we're moving the ball and defensively. So I thought the second half, I thought we did a lot of really good things on defense.
Coach, what about Aaliyah Edwards? 23 points, 9 rebounds in this season opener. How is she able to be so dominant? What have you seen as far as her growth?
Yeah, you know, we talked to Aaliyah a lot about making plays that other players can't make, you know. She's big enough, she's strong enough, she's athletic enough. So now it's just a matter of, like, every possession wanting to be that dominant kind of player, you know. So you know, going out of your area to go get rebounds, you know, attacking the basket and, you know, finish and get three-point plays. You know, those are the things that I think, you know, are going to separate her from a lot of the other players. And, you know, a game like tonight, that's, I think, going to be like a normal game for her. So I'm excited for her.
Up next, you got NC State, a big opponent. What kind of challenges do they present?
Well, you know, anytime you're playing a really good team that we played last year and we beat them, you know, so there's a lot of that. They're not an easy team to play on their home court. First road game for this group, you know, so that's an adventure in and of itself. But I think it's good for us. You know, these next 2 weeks are really, really good for us. And today was a good start.
All right, Coach, congrats on the win. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
NC State put up 36 in the first quarter of their opener against Charlotte yesterday. So it will be an interesting game Sunday down in Raleigh. Lots still to come tonight. Don't forget our all-access European Tour show after the post-game show, and that comes up in a minute.